Hey everyone, it's Amber here with another Stellar Guitarist guitar tutorial, and in today's lesson I'm going to be teaching you how to play Too Sweet by Hozier. So I'm going to be showing you the strumming pattern and the chords for those of you who just want to jam along and sing to this amazing song. I'm also going to be teaching you how to play that very catchy bass line that we hear in the song too. So for the basics of the song, you're going to need to have your guitar in standard tuning, and you're going to want to whack a capo onto the 3rd fret of your guitar. So let's get into the lesson and look at the chords that we need in the verse. So the chords are going to be up on the screen for you to follow along with. And the first chord that we need is an E minor chord. And we're going to hold this chord for 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. And a strumming pattern that I really like to use in the song is going to sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. These are all down strums, and we're going to be strumming on every beat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And something you can add in to drive the song forward is to accents beat 2 and beat 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So for beats 2 and beats 4, you're just going to be strumming more of the strings. And the rest of the strums, you're really just going to be playing the lower strings, the E, the A, and the D strings. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The next bar, we have an E minor and a D over F sharp. So the E minor is going to get the first half of the strums, 1 and 2 and the D over F sharp is going to get the 3 and 4 and. So what does a D over F sharp really look like? So we're going to play a really simplified version of this chord, and we only need 1 finger for this. So all you're going to do is take your first finger and place it into the 2nd fret on the low E string. So the E minor is going to get the 1 and 2 and, the D over F sharp, 3 and 4 and. And it's really just being used as a passing chord. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we're passing to the G for 4 beats. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Next up we have a G and an A minor sharing a bar, so it's going to be very similar to the E minor and the D over F sharp. The G is going to get 1 and 2 and then the A minor, 3 and 4 and. So from the G, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So let's put it together up to that point, starting from that E minor chord. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 1 and 2 and switch. To the G. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and A minor. And then this is going to lead us to 2 bars of the C. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and repeat. We're then going to go to a D for a full bar. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then we have a B7 for a full bar. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The way we build this is we're going to put our 2nd, our 3rd and our 4th fingers all in the 2nd fret. We're going to be on the A string, the G string and the E string. And then we're going to put our 1st finger into the 1st fret on the D string. And if this is too difficult for you, what I like to teach is an easy B7. We just take our pinky off because our pinky is a bit of a weak finger, and we just play with 3 fingers down. And this will do a great job if this is where you're at in your guitar journey. So let's play through the entire first sequence of those chords, starting on the E minor. A 1, 2, here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and to G. 1 and 2 and A minor. final thing that we can add to bring light and shade into the piece is something called palm muting. So you take your strumming hand and you're going to rest the palm over the strings so that you are muting the strings essentially. And this is just going to make the chords sound a little bit less bright. And we're going to be doing this during the verse and the pre-chorus. So if we pull those chords back up onto the screen, this is what it could sound like with palm muting. A 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Still accenting 2 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So let's take a quick break from playing the guitar, and if you are enjoying this lesson, please could I ask you to like this video and to subscribe to my channel. It really helps me being able to create lessons like this for you every single week. Another thing, if you are wanting to learn a little bit more from me, you can grab my free PDF guides at the link below this video. I have a guide on how to buy your first guitar or your second or third or fourth guitar. And I also have a guide on how to help you to improve your chord changes and make them sound really smooth. So those guides are below in the link. And you can also check out my amazing guitar program, the Stellar Academy, that is perfect for any beginner guitarists who are wanting to become more confident and just to become a stellar guitarist in general. So go and check out the link below this video and let's get back into the lesson. So let's take a look at that second chord sequence that we're going to need for the song. And this chord sequence pops up in the chorus, and there isn't really anything too different except we're going to be replacing that D chord with a G chord. So before the B7, previously we played a D before changing to the B7. In this chord sequence, we're going to be changing to a G and then changing to that B7 chord. And we're going to be changing the strumming pattern here. So instead of doing the down strums and the palm muting, we're actually going to be adding a strumming pattern that sounds like this. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we have down strums on all the counts, and we have up strums on all the ands. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And if we try that on an E minor, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So it can be a little bit boring if you're just going to be doing that motion back and forth. So something you can do is to still accent beats 2 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So really adding a much stronger strum on beats 2 and beats 4. So the chord sequence would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. G to A minor. C. C again. To the G. And to the B7. And just to add in a little bit of fun here with some singing of the chords, let's play through that chorus again. A 1, 2, ready, and E minor. And G. G's to A minor for C. C to the G. B7. Take my E minor. E minor, D over F sharp to G. G's to A minor for C. C to the G. B7. So those are the main two sections of the song if you are wanting to strum and sing along. Now, if you're wanting to play that really fun bass line, I have a simplified version that I'm going to be teaching coming up next. So I've zoomed in to teach you a simplified version of that bass line. Now, obviously, we are playing this on a guitar instead of a bass guitar. And secondly, we are going to need to accommodate the capo that we've put on to the guitar. So keep this in mind when we learn this version of the bass riff. You might notice it's not going to sound identical to the original, and that is because of those two factors that I've just mentioned. So I'm going to play through the bass line for you now so you can hear what we're going to be working on. So it sounds like this. And that gets repeated in the intro, in the verse, and in the pre-chorus of the song. So as you can tell, it's got quite a lot of different rhythms going on. The notes you're playing with your fretting hand are not too difficult, but definitely getting a sense of the rhythm is very important. So in the tab, you'll notice that I've grouped the notes, and this is just to help you to identify which notes are played one after each other, and then when there's going to be a tiny gap before playing the next group of notes. So the first group of notes are 3 open strings on the E string, and we play that twice. Break. So bar 1 is really quite simple. We're then going to put our first finger into the 2nd fret on the low E string, and we play that 4 times. Before taking our 2nd finger into the 3rd fret and playing that 3 times. So up till that point, from the very start, 2, 3, and then that 3rd bar, the same rhythm, before we go to the open A string for 2 plucks, and then we put our first finger into the 2nd fret on the A string. 0, 0, 2, 2. So the whole line sounds like this. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 0, 0, 2, 2. The next section, we are going to be putting our 2nd finger into the 3rd fret on our A string, and the rhythm is very similar to what we played in the first bar. So we have 3, 3, 3, stop, 3, 3, 3. The next bar is we play 2 3s, and then 3 notes on the open D string. So from the start of that line, 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 0, 0. And then the last bar, 0, 2, 2. And that's 2 is played on the A string with our first finger. And then 2 2s after that. So I know it is really difficult to learn this when the rhythm is so sporadic, and it really is much easier to learn this all at one time from beginning to end. When we try isolate those bars, it can be very confusing because there is a lot of syncopation happening here, and most of the time we're not really coming in on beat 1 of the bar. So it is a lot easier to play this along with maybe the track, or to play this all from beginning to end with me in a playthrough. So we're going to try that now really slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So those are the main sections that we've just learned for the song. All that's left to do now is to join me for a mini playthrough of the song coming up next. All right, let's take it from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Said I'm an early bird. o'clock before I say a word. Baby, I can never tell, how do you sleep so well? You keep telling me to live right, to go to bed before the daylight, but then you wake up for the sunrise. You know you don't gotta pretend, baby, now and then. Don't you just wanna wake up, dark as a lake, smelling like a bonfire, lost in a haze. If you're drunk on life, babe, I think it's great. But while in this world, I think I'll take my whiskey neat, my coffee black in my bed at 3. You're too sweet for me. You're too sweet for me. I'll take my whiskey neat, my coffee black in my bed at 3. You're too sweet for me. You're too sweet for me. So there you have it, everyone. That is how you play Too Sweet by Hozier. I really hope you enjoyed the lesson. If you did, then why not check out the lesson being suggested to you right now on the screen. And I hope to see you in my next lesson next week. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye.